Spado, the accidental gangster. Folks, I got a lot of information that I want to share with you today. So make sure you subscribe early, put your notifications on, because you never know when I might pop up. You know, first I got to tell you, folks, today you can see that we got a sunny blue skies with white puffy clouds out there. But it's only 56 degrees here in Los Angeles. That's cold for me. I gotta tell you. All right? Last night, the wind was blowing so badly. This tree, almost, I was hoping actually, okay, let me show you the tree. See that tree? There's no leaves on it now. So you could see through and almost see way down on Wilshire Boulevard and the high-rise buildings. When I first moved here, I could see clearly all the way downtown. That tree has grown. Last night, that wind was blowing that tree. The palm trees over on Pond Drive were bent halfway over, okay? I was hoping it would take out that tree, I gotta be honest with you. But anyway, you didn't come here to listen to the tree, all right? A lot of things are happening with this weather. There's 9 missing skiers, okay? Did you folks see that there? Hello, wanderers. Sarah, how are you? Thank you for coming. Let's hope this goes a little better. I started that last night and nobody came. 13 people. And now we only got 6 here. But I'm going to talk anyways, folks, okay? The hell with it. They come, they don't come, so what? Right? You're here, so I'm going to tell you about it. We all know this sheriff has messed everything up. In my personal opinion, on this Nancy Guthrie case. Okay? Now, I don't know why, but apparently they didn't have many dogs. They should have had the search dogs out there. They got these dogs. The sheriff's department, the FBI, everyone's got it. But at the beginning, from what I understand, at the beginning of the investigation, the Border Patrol came in with their dogs, went into the house, that was it. Now, why the Border Patrol? I have no idea, folks, okay? And maybe you know, all right? This thing gets crazier by the minute. And nobody knows what the motive is. What was the motive? This definitely wasn't a robbery. These people, whoever they are, were in the house for 41 minutes. So I know right away that's not a robbery. Now, for those of you who have read my book, The Accidental Gangster, From Insurance Salesman to Hollywood Fixer, okay, you will see, I say I was in the jewelry business down in Florida. Me and my partner, Ralphie, we robbed homes, jewelry stores, pawn shops. Folks, we had a saying. We had to be in and out in 3 minutes. And that's just what we did. All right? In and out in 3 minutes. Get what we got, get in, get what we were looking for, get out. And we were very successful at it. Okay? And never got caught for it. Now, I could talk about that because that's past the statute of limitations, all right? So these guys were not robbers. Did they know Nancy Guthrie? I got a feeling somehow, some way, they knew her. Either her daughter, I don't know, okay? But this sheriff has messed this thing up so terribly. And, I'm starting to wondering about sheriff's departments. Because, as you know, the sheriff's department is investigating Diddy here in Los Angeles. And that's been going on for a while. On this boy Jonathan Hayes, who was S&D'd by Diddy. Folks, it seems like this Jonathan Hayes has all the proof and the evidence, and they haven't put a case together yet. All right? And this has been going on for quite a while now. So, all right? Now, yesterday, okay? No, you're right, Alfie Zara. Thank you. Folks, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe to my channel. All right? And, people, I want to thank all those who've been hyping me. All right? There's that hype button where you could hype and share. All right? And hit that like button, okay? Here we are. All right? Almost 50 people. I only got 17 likes. Okay? You're right, AJ. This is getting old. All right? But I want to tell you what happened yesterday. Okay? This happened in the desert, in the Inland Empire here in California. Okay? And the desert's the same way over there. It's a great place of disposing of bodies. Okay? Riverside and San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department officials are continuing to investigate recent discoveries of apparent separate sets of remains in local desert areas. In total, at least 4 discoveries have been made since the start of this year. Folks, this is only February, okay? And investigators are working to determine who the deceased are and how they died. In total, at least 4 discoveries have been made since the start of the year. The most recent announcement came on February 11th when the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department reported that human remains, including a skull, were found 2 days earlier in the area of Fossil Bed on Irwin Road in Barstow. Folks, that's the skull that they found. All right? Now, I have to tell you, and you all should know, you got Las Vegas, you got Los Angeles, you got Arizona. It's all desert country, okay? All right? And I know a lot of bodies are put in the desert. Now, I don't know if they can get DNA if they only got skeletal remains. I don't know. Does anybody there, any of you folks know it? Okay? Because if you do, please leave me a comment. Tell me what you think. Game Boy says, I feel like your spirit animal is a figgy pudding. Would you explain that, Game Boy? Okay? I don't understand. Okay, world yours. You say bone marrow. Good. That's cool. All right? That might be. Hello, XTN. How are you? Okay. So, folks, it's been 17 days. And they got nothing but speculation. They screwed this up, they screwed that, okay? And people are wondering, who is in charge of this investigation, okay? The Sheriff's Department says they're in charge, but I think the FBI are really in charge. The FBI actually has more people there than the Sheriff's Department, okay? Alfie, yes, I did meet Diddy many years ago. Jimmy Henchman introduced me to Diddy. Okay, that was at a nightclub here in Los Angeles many years ago. Okay, but you know, I gotta be honest. I mean, I met him, I shook his hand, I said hello. I didn't care for him. All right, the moment I looked in his eyes, I knew there was something very dark about Diddy. All right, and but that's the extent of me meeting him. I reported on him because he was in MDC Brooklyn, exactly where I was. So I know the layout, I know everything, and you know, other YouTubers are saying that there's another indictment coming. When it happens, I'll believe it, folks. Okay? Because I don't believe, truthfully, that they want to indict him anymore. I think they're through with him. All right? And if the Sheriff's Department finds anything out about Diddy here in Los Angeles, will our district attorney indict him? He might not. There's so much corruption going on, it's crazy. But what possibly could have been the motive? Now, people were starting to accuse and saying that Savannah Guthrie might be involved herself. And do you know that she wrote a book? I never read it, okay? But Lionel Nation, folks, you have watched Lionel Nation? He talked about the book. And in the book, she played, Savannah Guthrie played a game with her friends of kidnapping each other. All right? Yeah, Diddy has, Alfie, all right? Diddy has several civil lawsuits. There's one in Beverly Hills, right here in Beverly Hills. You folks all saw the HBO special that they had. Okay, if you would have looked, there would have been was a gentleman named Phil Pines, who I know personally. He's very close friends with my son. He was Diddy's assistant. So I knew a lot about things that Diddy was doing. So I was able to talk about it. All right? All right? Fiction becomes reality. Yukito Taro, how are you? I try to catch everybody. I want to say hello to everybody because, you know, we got a small family here, and I enjoy coming on talking to you people. All right? You're right, wisecracker. They don't report the facts. They don't know what the facts are. I don't know what they are. But somebody does. And who knows the facts? Who knows why somebody went after Nancy Guthrie? Okay? You see that photo they show a million times on TV of that guy dressed up like an alien and, you know, putting flowers over the camera. But yet the door was open. Huh? You like my accent, huh? Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. All right? Thank you, Alfie. What could be the motive? I can't think of anything. What would be the motive? Now, Savannah Guthrie's worth $40 million. I don't know how much her mother was worth, okay? I had no idea how much Nancy was worth herself. But I'm going to say it was a few bucks, okay? Now they got a lot more cameras than they're saying that were there, okay? Guthrie's are in the file. Maybe you might be right, Sunshine. Thank you, Yucatero. I thank you for your wonderful comments. All right? The motive. Is there something that the family wanted from her, all right, that she wasn't going to give? Okay. Wander says maybe they went to the wrong house. All right? Hey, Wise Cracker, you're worth 200, you got 200 to the end of the month. I know what it's like, folks. We got to make it month to month in this world. And now the old Trumps, everybody's going to get big tax refunds. All right? Folks, how much do you normally get for a tax refund? All right? I'd like to know. Because I never gotten a tax refund. And now everybody's going to be happy and the economy's going to be better because they say with Trump's plan that they put into motion, everybody's going to get more money, all right, from a tax refund they ever got, all right? Sean, how are you? Your father was in the mafia, all right? Well, Jessica, they're saying the average person is going to get about $2,600 back, all right, from the IRS. Yeah, well, I know I won't, okay? Hello, Dr. Studio. Thank you for coming in here. All right, Sosa, okay? The cartels. Good question. There's speculation that the cartels got her. But I don't think so, because if the cartels took her, they would have wanted money in return. Okay? Now, realize these people are dealing with TMZ, sending information to TMZ. All right? Why TMZ? Why to the news network? Why aren't they dealing with Savannah Guthrie, who has the money, and she is willing to pay if they could show proof of life? They haven't done none of that. I think this is, whatever the plan was, I think it's something that went very wrong, and she's no longer with us. Whether she died from a heart attack, all right, that she was frightened or something, I don't know, folks. All right? I had no idea. Yeah, it could have been, you're right, what the heck, that maybe that the lady died from a heart attack. It was an accident. We don't know. Obama made a law to have insurance or be fined $250 a month, took out of tax return. If you don't have enough to cover, then owe to the IRS. One thing I know, you owe the IRS they're going to get it. Did you know the IRS, if you're on Social Security and you owe money, they could take it from your Social Security? Yes. It's about my fifth cup of coffee, Shote. Huh? Am I an impulse buyer? Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes I am. Let's see what else we got here. You're right, Ultimate. Very smart of you, my friend. Ultimate Meta Nick. Money doesn't buy life or longevity. Money can make things easier for you, but money will not buy you happiness. Okay? Spectrum 9. We got a spectrum here. The stage is set. What's the stage set for? Okay? How you doing, Candy Cole? Thank you. How are you? From Florida. Winter Haven. Mm. Mm. You, Carol, did I know Michael Franchise? You better believe I knew Michael Franchise. Once again, I gotta tell you, it's in the beginning of my book. It's how I met his stepfather, Sonny Franchise. Yes, I knew Michael. And for those of you who watch Vlad, you see that Michael and I, 5, 6 years ago, we had a big argument, all right? And I went in my pocket and I took out something. I had a list of 57 names that he informed on. They thought I was going to pull out a gun, okay? You got to see it. It's on Vlad. Michael and I had buried the hatchet, and once in a while we will talk, I'll tell you that much, okay? But we're not going to be doing anything together, so don't think that's going to happen. So folks, come on, tell me what you think, because I think you guys are smarter than the sheriff over here, all right? This sheriff, he gets caught in more lies than anybody, than any politician. Well, I guess he is a politician because people vote him into office, all right? Folks, I want to talk to you a little about something else today and go off the subject, okay? Because people ask me about, am I going to write a new book? So I've been making some notes of things that I'm going to write in my new book, and I'm going to share them with you here today, all right? Please, folks, if you haven't hit that subscribe button, please do. And come on, all right? Everybody, hit that like button. It don't cost you a penny. I'm not asking for money. If you want to give me money, you like what I say, go ahead. You can hit the thanks button. All right? But hit that like button, folks. Can you at least do that? I appreciate it. All right, there's a difference between living in the streets and living by the code. I learned early that success, loyalty, and respect don't come from how loud you talk. They come from how you move when nobody's watching. This guide isn't about glorifying the past or romanticizing crime. It's about taking the real lessons from a life lived around power, discipline, and survival, and turning them into wisdom you can use anywhere. Whether you're building a business, protecting your peace, or learning how to lead people, the rules don't change, just the players do. I met men who built empires and others who lost everything chasing validation. The difference between them was never luck. It was code, a personal code. So that's a little bit, folks. I wanted to share that with you today. Okay? You know, talk about made man, what's a rat, RICO charges, mob boss, crime family, whacked. What does whacked mean? Do you really know what whacked means, folks? Do you know what it says when you gotta do a piece of work? Okay? I'll be talking about all those things. Alright? So, any more questions here today, folks? You're a little, alright? Guthrie's are in the files. TMZ host Harvey is naming the files. What files are you referring to, Sunshine? Alright? Are you referring to the Epstein files? Or are you referring to the files of the Guthrie case? Okay? Can you give me an answer there, please? Alright? Only once because I got it. I owe $1.89. Oh, when you are old, you jump through hoops. But when you're old, it's fast collecting. That's cool. World years. I don't know what president, all right, made it possible to garner Social Security. A good question. I'm going to look that up and try to find out who that was. Does anybody else here know that answer? All right? Alfie, you're correct. Only yourself can make you happy. All right? Oh, Orlando Velez. My name is Orlando. That's my first name. I shortened it to Ori. So, was I a mobster? Was I a gangster? Read my book and find out. Let's see. King Coleman, money would make me happy, mate. So you must be from England, my friend. I'm currently sat in the freezing house eating half a pie. I'm sorry about that, my friend. My world, I get $1,010 a month from Social Security. Isn't it funny we never get a big increase in Social Security, all right, to go along with the cost of living? They got this thing called COLA, which we don't know a goddamn thing about, okay? All right, they give you 2.8% increase in Social Security. But yet, look at how much they raise our Medicare. They take it all back from us plus more, all right? Come on, folks, let's hit that like button, all right? Come on. If you haven't hit the like button, would you do it for me now, please? Okay? Just give me a little payback for my time. Appreciate that, all right? And it don't cost you a nickel, all right? Let's see if we can get it up to 100 likes. All right? Wise Crocker. Crocor or Cracker? How do you pronounce that? All right? I think Crocor. All right? You'll be happy on the beach in Mexico. All right? How you doing, Sarah? Sarah Newton? Thank you for coming. Thank you, B. Knight. I appreciate that. He liked it and he subscribed. Good man. I think you're a man, I hope. Are you? I can't tell by the names. All right? And that's funny. Alfie, I'm glad you said that because that's what I think is happening here with the sheriff's department here. Uh, Johnny Franchise was an informant before, many years ago. He was an informant for the sheriff's department here in Los Angeles and was wearing a wire against me back then. But they never got nothing to indict me on. You know why? Because I never trusted Johnny Franchise. He was an addict. You can't trust an addict or an alcoholic, all right? Oh boy, thank you. What the heck said I'm a good writer. Thank you so much. I appreciate that there. Stacy, I'd love to meet you too. I'd love to meet you all someday. Maybe we could put together, you folks talk about it. Maybe we could put something together, okay, that we can have some sort of event where we all could meet someday. I think that would really be cool, okay? All right, folks, let's keep hitting that like button. All right, today I'm asking for a like. Hit that like. We got 67. Come on, let's do it. Who's going to be the next one to hit that like button there? Okay? It don't cost you a penny, folks. All right? I hit the like button on everybody that I watch on YouTube because that's a form of respect. I might not like what they say, but I still give them a like button because they took the time to do it, okay? And one thing, I don't have 1 million subscribers here, folks, all right? I got, what is it? I'm approaching 17,000, something like that there. I don't even know what the number is, all right? I keep it small because when you folks write me a comment, okay, I write you back, which all you folks know that I do that, okay? That's respect. You can't get that for somebody else, and you're not going to get it for somebody who's got 1 million or got hundreds of thousands, okay? Because then it's just very consuming at that point. So I don't want to get to 1 million subscribers, all right? Scurry, I'm glad you asked that question. A story. I was going to tell a story yesterday. Folks, as you know, or if you don't know, I robbed the LA City jail. Yeah, I robbed a jail. How crazy is that, huh? Okay? Of cable boxes. I had a couple $1 million worth of cable boxes. And they were locked up in this jail. I was trying to get a court order. And somebody told me he can get me a court order, moving from one jail to another jail. And I met this guy at a restaurant in Burbank. And he came with the paperwork, but the date he had on it, he had a date for Friday. I needed a date for Monday, okay? $5 there. Who give me that $5 there? Okay. Sal Capano. Sal, how much? Sal, thank you so much. I appreciate that. You don't know how much I appreciate it. All right. And all my love and respect to you, Sal. Hitting that thanks button, all right, give me $5. Okay. So folks, here's what happened. That restaurant, the waiters, the waitresses were all LAPD. And there was a bad cop. And I kept mentioning this. Every time I was talking to this guy, I didn't know he was an informant. He was wearing a wire, all right? I didn't know. He was wearing one, and I kept saying, we got to get him because there's a cop, and I kept mentioning this cop's name. And when the cops picked me up that day at that restaurant, they came in their private cars. And he pulled up, he put the cuffs on me like this, and he put me in the front seat of his personal car. Yeah, it's a true story. He told the others, you know what to do, all right? He takes off. Now, I figure we're going to go down to the LA City Jail or Parker Center, okay? He's driving. Next thing you know, he pulls into Griffith Park. Now, when I get picked up, I never say a word, okay? Don't ever talk, don't say nothing, all right? Now he pulls into the park, Griffith Park. And I'm maybe there's a shortcut through the park. That's what I'm thinking, right? Then he goes out on this dirt road in the Griffith Park. And I say to myself, Ori, you gotta say something. So I say, officer, I don't know of any police station here in this park. He looked at me, he says, shut up, you guinea bastard. Do you know who I am? I'm so-and-so, and you've been blabbering my name on the wire. I said, well, you shouldn't have had the guy wire it up. And at that time, folks, I knew what the plan was. Boom, to me, bury me in the park, and that's the end of it. But one cop at the scene messed up and said on the two-way radio that we have Ori Spado. And Stephen Sue from the Gangster Squad. All right, the Gangster Squad exists. He says, you get Spado down to Parker Center right now. And that guy got a call on his phone. He actually threw it down. He said, today's the luckiest day of your life. Folks, when we got to Parker Center, I was fucking happy. You had no idea how happy I was. I was being arrested. I didn't care because at least I was still alive. I could have ended up in Parker Center, in the park, Griffith Park, buried, and nobody would have ever known nothing. So tell me about cops. I know about them. All right? Come on, folks, let's hit that like button. Come on, I just told you a story I never told anybody. All right? We got 79. Can we get to 100 here? Okay? Sal Capano, where are you from, my friend? Sal Capano, Michael Catapano, was my co-defendant on my RICO case. I'm going to tell you folks all about that there. Maybe tomorrow, or not tomorrow, it's what, Thursday? Maybe Friday, okay? When's a good time? Folks, what time is a good time do you think for me to come on here? Leave me a comment. Let me know, okay? Come on, we're at 83. Keep hitting that like button, folks. All right? Thank you so much. All right? 84. All right, I know there's you people could hit that like button. You just go like that, hit that like button. And if you don't like me, you don't like what I said, hit the thumbs down button. Hit either one. But do something. Okay? All right, folks, as you know, my book is being made into a movie, and I got a call coming up here. And I gotta get ready for a Zoom call with my production team. So, everybody have a great day. All my love and respect to you all. And remember, do something kind for others today. Thank you. God bless you.